Okay, it is day 206 of the cut, deadlift day, also diet check-in day with Justin. Told him that with how I was feeling at the end of the week, I'd be absolutely good to crank in and keep going on the cut for another, which meant that as soon as I pressed submit on the check-in button, instant freaking regret. And I mean, not real regret, but it was like the moment I did press that submit button, it was like, holy freaking shit, I am hungry and I gotta do this for another week. But I mean, we did do at least okay this week, so there is no reason that I can't stick it out for at least one more. And I'll put it on the screen right now, but I definitely am the leanest I've ever been in my entire life, which is kind of sad to admit considering how fat I still am. But I shouldn't be surprised that it does feel like balls if we're having to do something we've never done before. And with that, just because it feels hard and does feel like shit and does feel like I want to quit, doesn't mean that we can't push it a little bit further. Because I think right now, the biggest benefit of digging in harder isn't even going to be on the physical front of getting leaner and then being able to be leaner on meet day. I think the biggest benefit is the fact that if I can stick it out when I want to quit, like, it's just going to make me more resilient for the next time I do this. Because let's face it, with how relatively not lean I am right now, we're going to have to run this process back a couple more years in a row in order to get where I want to go. So that means goal today is to do my best because that's what I have to do if I want to have a good meet day in December. But the lack of hop after that set is reflective of the current energy level. So we gotta make sure we start waking up a little bit more as we go up. So we're slightly more awake for this set. A little better. So now to get the app out and figure what the hell my work sets are supposed to be today, which is looking like we're running 485, 515, and 545 for some fives today. So we are gonna have to wake ourselves up to get the job done here today. And not only do I have my own personal programming available for you to follow in the team, we have 3 separate streams of team programming where the goal isn't just to be like, hey, follow the program. We want to give you individualized coaching on every single thing that you're doing so we can better help you dial in the programs to fit your needs so that you can be like Paul, because he is doing the work that he needs to, hitting the right accessories for his weak points and applying the right cues to dial his technique, and his training is absolutely blowing up right now. So if you are sick of being stuck in the gym, hit link below, join the team, because we want to help you. Anyways, work set number 1, 485. Let's set the tone. I freaking hate hook grip because of how much more effort I have to do to put on chalk for light sets. Like, it's gotta be like perfect or else the thumb is too slippery. Felt pretty okay actually. Although I did have a little like fold in my thumb skin, which was quite hurty, so gonna have to do a better job of setting hook on the next set. And I mean, we gotta fix that because if we want to do good on the top set, well, we gotta do good here. So better thumbs, harder lats. All I can think of setup is holy fuck, my thumbs hurt. I am definitely regretting fucking up the hook set on that 45 because that was ouchie ouchie boo boo, but we gotta suck it up and go up from here. And 545 is what I ran for top set on the 3-week last round, so goal here is to do better than we did there.
evacuating like Chernobyl residents. Highest verbal caliber, harder body than grappler. With the heart of a lion in my cardiovascular. I don't catch a body on the mic, I catch a massacre. Cause it's Wednesday off the next market calendar. What?
That's good enough. Considering that the last time we had 545 on the bar, I only got 5, I would say 7, very adequate today, and like probably could have kept going, but again, the goal to mains right now is to do enough to get a stimulus and then save it so we can smash the shit out of secondary. So we're gonna do that after Jarrell takes his top set here. Yep. Good. Yes. Keep going. Yes. There you go.
Much better than
Yeah.
sweet.
Shitting yourself's worth it. Yeah. And I'd say off that, he's pretty on track for his meet in September. Now Tyler's taken was probably going to be his last warm-up for his top set, also competing in September and running the team programming for. Okay. Let's go. Yes. Dude. Yeah. 6:15, chip PR. And I know a block pull isn't quite the same as pulling from the floor, but that does match his best ever meet pull, so that moving that well right now is a very good sign. Anyways, back down to 4 for my first set of stiff legs. Definitely a little chattery than I want, so might have been wise to take a warm up, but I think we'll keep it there for set 2 and see if we can do a bit better job. And I think like part of the problem with that first set of stiffs is with how strong I felt on the comp pulls, I kind of went in a little bit mentally lackadaisical thinking that it's only 485. So I just got to do a better job of remembering that skinny Seth has to try for a 45 stiff leg. As embarrassing as it is to admit.
Way better. There we go. Hips a little higher. Way better this time. Finish that. Don't fucking stop pulling. Good. Easy work. Come on. No odd numbers. Finish that.
Woo! And that set was way freaking more of what we needed. Very glad that I was capable of doing it. I mean, we just had to show ourselves that we actually were capable of bringing it. So let's go do the same on something that is going to be a little bit of a surprise. Update, the surprise might be ruined because there's a really skinny guy on the hack squat that isn't Darrell, so I'm not sure if I want to work in with him or not. Like somehow there's someone in the gym with smaller quads than Darrell, so I don't know what the fuck's going on here. The skinny guy was Tyler, so I guess we can make him share, but we got a freaking Panada Smith machine and kind of played with her a little bit on Sunday, and it felt like it was going to feel really good, so we're going to find out if it feels really good. Oh god, it feels really heavy. Were you doing 2?
No, I was at 1 and I went up to 2.
Oh, okay, fuck, well. I assume that if I had a weight Tyler was using, I'd be okay, but we may be in trouble here.
1 was very easy.
I think I gotta go feet a little lower, but...
That's how I was. Though.
Yeah, that is nice. This is so much more quad than the pit shark, which is exactly what I was hoping for, because I was kind of doing the pit shark as a quaddy slot, but due to the nature of a belt squat, like a lot of hips come in and you got to go really heavy, so cumulative fatigue much more higher than this, so we'll shut up and do some reps. Yeah, this is nice. And we're gonna go 2 1/4 for this set because I don't want to annihilate myself on this slot or week 1 of the wave. Plus my quads are very sore from the weekend's high bars, so we'll see how this one feels and then decide if we're going up or not. I wish it auto opened, that's like the only complaint. But it still is so much nicer like fishing for the handles of the max pump. Actually, after that 2-plate feeler, this feels pretty good, so we'll only do a couple and go up. So 3 it is. If it's easy, we'll do a couple reps and then go up. If it's hard, we'll make it a work set. Yeah, I think we're gonna go straight to 4. Expecting this one to be at least a little bit of a crank. This is so perfect. The amount that it forces me to like grind through that like mid-range knee extension, am in love. So we'll do another set there. And what I will say is that as much as I did like the pitch arc in this squat, and I do prefer the pitch arc over every other belt squat that I've ever used, I can tell this is going to be about 10 million times more effective for today's goals of challenging quads and not smashing the rest out of me. So yeah, another decent crank here. Come on. Thought I might have had 7 until the stick point hit on number 6. Oh boy. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Easily the best hack squat I've ever used. And the other benefit that I wasn't even thinking about until I had to unload it is the fact that it only takes 4 plates instead of 11 on the pitch arc means it is much less of a pain in the ass. And Miana and Darrell have been talking this thing up, so we're going to use Miana weights to run a little experiment and see if we can actually do leg extensions today. I hope I don't get crippled by Miana weights. It is, oh, hey, happened with saddle weights last week. Try to control a little better, squeeze. It's not as bad as last week. Oh, maybe it's catching. What the fuck's wrong with me? We're going to stick it out today, see if it gets... I feel like I'm seizing.
Does it feel hard?
It just feels like I can't control it.
And it's only eccentric?
Yeah. Like concentric's normal, and then it's just like...
You want to go lighter?
Oh, I just got to slow it right the fuck down.
Oh.
Okay, we're figuring it out. We are not that stupid to not be able to do a leg extension. And I think like the fact that it does feel that problematic means that I probably should stick this out and run my lightweight, slow eccentric sets. Like now it's catching. Like I'm feeling quad. It's been like 10 minutes. Probably gonna cut a lot of reps out of that set, but it's finally getting hard. But very happy that we were able to do that today. So we'll run another. Despite the good news of that feeling good, Miana went up to a plate, so I guess I gotta do a plate next set. To my credit, though, I am at least making it harder and setting the machine so I get a little bit more knee flexion than she was. Not that that counts for anything. Yeah. Oh, got a little too excited that one. It's like so much focus to not lose it. Looking at the camera ruined the focus. But I mean, oh, almost fell out. If I can get that better, like quads should be better, so we're gonna work to get this better. Continuing the theme of roasting myself a little bit less with the accessories, we're gonna swap out the back extensions for this oh so terrible ask good morning contraption, which I am both looking forward to and am terrified of. So terrible. Been a while since I've done it, so starting with 2 plates just to kind of ease in. We'll slap a couple more for a worky set here. And I mean, straight to 4 is a little bit of an aggressive jump, so hopefully this doesn't kill me. Was gonna try to talk through that set, but I realized it was way too freaking hard to open my mouth. Was going to say that, holy shit, that's difficult, but I mean, I think it's evident that that was challenging, so we'll do another. And to be clear, am feeling absolutely dead at this point, but if we don't want to suck on the platform, we do have to bring it again. So, big crank here. I hate this machine so freaking much. And I haven't tried this guy yet, but I saw Joel using it earlier today, and he said that it doesn't suck, so we'll find out if Joel's full of shit. I don't know if I like the foot pedal situation, but what has stopped me from using it is I am currently very lazy, and I don't like loading plates on things, but I think this feels good enough that we'll have to continue loading plates on it, because, yeah, it's a good feel. So we'll give 3 a rep. Because if we don't want to get our upper back made fun of when we post progress pictures, we got to take our pulling a little bit more seriously. Also, think I figured out how to make the foot pedal situation work better. I got to hold onto this, press, grab, anchor, press, grab. Okay, that's better. That makes more sense. That may have been a little bit aggressive. Now that Joel is no longer in the immediate area, we're dropping it back down to 2. Because this is really embarrassing to say out loud, but Joel was running 3.5 on here, so I assumed 3 would not be terrible, but I guess that's why we gotta start pulling a little bit harder, a little bit more often, so we can catch up to the little fella. Like, definitely getting a much better quality rack adjustment when it's light enough that we don't have to jerk into it, so I'm okay with that choice, even if it does make me feel bad about myself. And now that we've effectively embarrassed ourselves here, time to go do the same thing with some pull-over loaded GHR setups. And my only real goal here with how terrible this was last week is just to feel less like my abs are in immediate danger of ripping off my pelvis. Because with my injury history, I do not want to go through that experience again, so we're gonna, ease into the first rep here and then explore that pullover loading option. Actually, so far, so good. I'm like not really committing to the pullover, but it is quite nasty, so yeah. Taking that as a win over last week, so we'll run another. And yeah, does look very pathetic, but that is exactly why we are doing it. Once again, only goal on round 2 here is not to die. Committing the elbows a little bit straighter, which does suck. That is frightening in the bottom. Yeah, we are gonna get better at doing that. But that is the name of the game, because if you suck at a movement, if you know that a body part is lagging behind, like, embrace that it sucks and turn sucking at it into excitement, because the fact that you suck at it means that you can get better. And like, that's how I'm framing the Rex Abdominis stuff right now with the current level of skinniness, is like, I gotta just get this shit stronger if I want my squat to have a chance, and the only way I'm gonna get it stronger is by continuing to challenge myself on those loaded sit-up variations. And as much as I don't like how much of a challenge that is right now with a 15-pound kettlebell above my head, like, I need to do it so that I can get better and progress my way to a 25, progress my way to 35, and I don't know how much more progression there will be with the above the head loading from 35, but we gotta at least keep our mind open to it and keep striving for more, because if we can strive for more, like, that's how we're going to build up the ab strength necessary to get my squat brace better. And like, same thing on that hack squat, like, after running the 4 plates there, all I could think is, if I want to squat what I want to squat, I need to get that to 6, I need to get that to 7, I need to get that thing to 8 plates aside, so that I can have the quad strength necessary to chug through something in the high 8s, low 9s, which might not be what we're squatting in December, because we're still a very long ways away from that, but that is what I need to be squatting in the next few years. So I gotta just wrap my head around doing bigger numbers on the movements that are going to get me there. And like, with the team programming, with the team, like, the biggest reason we are getting lifters to make the insane progress that they are is we are setting those goals on the accessory movements and kind of trying to chip away at putting more pounds on their hack, putting more pounds on their rolling extensions, putting more pounds on their JMs, putting more pounds on their board press, putting more pounds on their overhead press. And as they put more pounds on those movements, that is what leads to them being able to go up on their main lifts, because we're not just like looking at, you know, their bench and just saying bench more. It's like we're looking at their bench and saying like, okay, this is a tricep thing, or another guy, this is a pec thing. Let's figure out the movement that's going to challenge the pecs or the triceps in the way they need to be challenged, and then we get better at that movement, and it's like, no freaking shit, their bench goes up. But that is what I got for today, guys. Find the shit that you suck at, find the shit that's holding back your lifts, get better at it, you will get better. Peace out, have a good rest of your night.